So it's story time. I am sitting in the floor in my main area, and yes, I do still have up my Christmas tree. I was like, you know what? I need some joy a little bit longer. I need that Christmas joy longer. My brother came in and he was just like, really? And I'm like, hey, I pay the bills here. I keep my Christmas tree up all year long if I want to. Don't talk about me. But anyways, so the title of this video is I Quit Poshmark. So story time is that in 2017, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Kanisha Frazier. I am a full-time pharmacist, part-time reseller. eBay is my main bay. And so back to the story. 2017, I was actually in the midst of paying off my student loans because I paid off $100,000 in 2017 in 11 months. Okay. And of course, a lot of things are happening right now. But so 2017, I was like, okay, I'm taking a life coaching certification. And I saw a friend on IG. She was reselling things and she was buying things at Goodwill and reselling them online on a site called Poshmark. And I had never heard of it before then. And I was like, what? You can make extra money by selling things from Goodwill and garage sales and stuff? And I mean, I had thought about it, but not like seriously thought about it, like as a serious side hustle. Because, I'm all about multiple streams of income. And we're going to talk a lot about just building wealth, multiple streams of income, and how to pay off debt and pay off student loans and all that good stuff on this channel. So I started towards the end of that year thinking, okay, I can make some extra income. So I'm in. So Poshmark was my very first platform that I was on. Oh, this grass patch on my forehead. Woo! Okay. And I was like selling a few things here and there. I was so not consistent. I was just like, here and there. My dad and I would go and I would find a few things and I would list them. So I have actually about 300 items in the store. And so I kept doing that for a while. So flash forward all the way to 2020. So October 2020, I was like, you know what if I got serious about this? And I really, really treated it like another stream of income besides my pharmacy income. Because it was, I don't know, maybe $500, $600, which I mean is a lot considering I was very inconsistent. So I was like, okay, let's do Poshmark. Maybe I can add eBay. Maybe I can add Mercari. And so I went ahead and did that. And in the last 6 months, I've seen quite a bit of growth. And I was afraid for a long time because I was just like, do I have time for this? I'm going to have to do like an inventory system. I'll have to it was just sounded like a lot. I need a printer, where am I going to keep these items? It sounded like so much, even though I secretly kind of wanted to do it on a larger scale. So like right now I probably have, I don't even know, 500 items, 600 items in my house right now. And I'm still like working on the inventory system, which I'll show you guys later. But so I was like, I really want to get serious. So I got serious in 2020 and it's gone really well so far. But the thing is that why I ended up having to quit Poshmark, when I say I would go to the restroom at work and I would be like, okay, I'm going to the restroom. So I would go and I'd be like, oh, I could share a few items on the way to the restroom. I could share a few items on the way back. I would share during lunch. I would list during lunch. I would walk around the hospital and list. And it was just a lot because I would list on eBay because it was slightly more complicated, or I guess, I don't know, time consuming. So I would list on eBay. I would try to do that at home, and then I could do Poshmark and Mercari when I was out and about because how you list is much more simple. It's not necessarily all the measurements and things like that. So I would do all of that. And then if I were at home, I would walk from my desk to the fridge and I would be sharing. I walked from my desk to the restroom and I'd be sharing, and somebody would be talking to me on the phone and I would be sharing. I'm like, I don't know what the heck they just said because I was too busy sharing. Or I would be, in front of somebody sharing and I'm going, girl, yeah, but I'm too busy sharing. And I'm like, I cannot function like this. This is not going to work long term. Because the point in the sharing on Poshmark really is because from what I've heard, when you share, your item goes to the top of the feed. So which means that somebody, when they're looking for your item, they're more likely to find it. Although it never really made sense. I'm like, how many people, or what's the percentage of people that actually buy from the feed? And you're saying share so it'll go to the top of the feed? And And I'm kind of like, I don't really get it. But it's interesting that Poshmark is the owner compares himself to Instagram. So not to eBay, not to Amazon, these other selling platforms, but to Instagram. And I'm like, well, Instagram is a social platform. The only way you really can make money is through, brand deals, sponsorships, that kind of thing. So I'm just like, I don't get it. And my friend, Jennifer, we always talk about, she's my accountability partner. We always talk about, well, Poshmark does not provide you with the data analytics that you really need in order to run a successful business. Because I'm like, I'm all about the marketing. We'll probably talk a little marketing on this channel too, because I love marketing. So I'm just like, well, how do you even know like where the traffic comes from? How much traffic is coming from eBay? How much traffic is coming from external sites? Like that's kind of the things you need to know. Well, how much money have I made in the last 30 days? My gross sales, my net sales, how much is taken out for the listing fees, and just you need to know like, okay, have I been increasing in my views since I increased in my listings? Like those are the things you need to know, the analytics you need to know in order to continue to grow. And Poshmark doesn't give you that. And so often my friend Jennifer always said, she's like, the platform is not made for resellers. And it really resonated with me because I'm like, why am I giving so much energy and attention and focus to a platform that's not even made for me, that I am not the main focus of? And eBay is saying, I'm here to serve. Here is all of the information you need in order to run your business and to run a successful one. So that's something interesting to think about. Okay. So it was just something kind of percolating in the back of my brain. But later on, as time went on, and I saw all of these resellers on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, there's Tradesy, there's Kidizen, like the list goes on and on. You could do Facebook Marketplace. And I'm just like, okay, so maybe I should be on some other platforms. But can I say there's not enough time in the world for me to be on 12 platforms? Clearly. Because I'm like, I work 30 minutes from home. And I'm there all day long from whatever it is, the afternoon to evening, depending on what day it is. And I'm just like, it's impossible. After a while, I dropped Mercari first. And then Poshmark was the last to go. But it was like, Poshmark was it was like the very first. It's like your very first boyfriend. You always hold a special place in your heart for your very first boyfriend, right? Because you're thinking, oh, well, that was my first kiss. Oh, that was my first, whatever. First time I ate out. Yeah, woo woo. But anyway, so I was like holding Poshmark to this, highest regard or whatever. But after a while, it's just like, I don't have time to share. I don't have time. I barely have time to list on there, even though it was very simple. But then Poshmark is also pretty trendy. So the item had to be in season, on trend, right color, pattern, all of these things. On eBay, honestly, just about anything sells. Old, new, of the like. If it's a pair of American Eagle jeans that somebody loves, they will buy it. And sometimes things take a little bit longer, but pretty much almost anything on there sells. And I've seen that. And my sales have been much higher on eBay than they have been on Poshmark. So maybe just in the last 2 months, so let's say last 6 months, I've been on Mercari and eBay along with Poshmark. And in the last 2 months or so, I was like, you know what? I do still have a closet on Poshmark because I put a lot of time and effort into building that 300 plus items. So I'm like, okay, I'll just leave it how it is, but I am not actively adding listings or sharing. I was like, no more. So the stores are still open, Poshmark, Mercari, but I was like, nope, no more. I was like, because it made me think about when I paid off the $100,000 in student loans in that 11 months in 2017, it was because I gave complete and utter focus and all of my attention to reaching that goal. I was like, there's no more. I won't be chained to my student loans ever again. Never again. And I was committed to that. So I wondered if I put that much focus and attention into eBay, could I grow something big? And I thought I kind of had, I guess, an ulterior motive for myself, because I was thinking, because my dad and I actually have a course called Unchained, How to Break Free from Student Loan Debt. And I was thinking, Dad, we could add a small excerpt or even just an additional course to this debt course talking about multiple streams of income and reselling. And of course, I have a whole bunch of bright ideas, and my daddy always goes, okay, honey, go ahead, start that. So I was like, well, because I'm like, we could teach it to kids, we could teach it to adults. And that was just, it really got me excited and interested to see what could we build. So when I finally quit Poshmark, I was just like, okay. It was freeing, definitely, because I had a lot more time to just list on eBay, to focus on eBay, to making the most quality listings that I could have with all the measurements, all the 6+ pictures, everything that I would need in order to get the right keywords into my listings and write descriptions into my listings and measurements to get people to find my items. Because with Poshmark, the only way people really find your items is if you're sharing, according to Poshmark. Even though there still are some items that are selling, but they say you increase the likelihood of your items selling if you are sharing. And on eBay, it's like marketing on other sites. The keywords you use, the descriptions you use, the quality of the listing, the quality of your pictures. And that's what I wanted it to be about. And interesting enough, there has been an update with Poshmark recently, which almost confirms my decision, even though it was not the initial reason that I decided that no more Poshmark. So now there were always, or at least for quite some time, there's been brands on Poshmark. So like Free People has a closet, and then you have all these huge official brands have closets on Poshmark. But now there's going to be basically like their own official closet button on Poshmark's site. And so if you're looking for something from Free People, it's going to be the very first thing you see. So even if a smaller reseller like me or you is selling on there and you are sharing avidly, from my understanding, that official Free People closet is going to be the first that shows up there. So as a customer, because I'm always looking and thinking, okay, well, what would the customer do? If I'm looking for a Free People dress, would I go to the official closet or would I go to the smaller seller that lives in Iowa? I'm probably going to go to the actual official closet first and foremost. And after you get inundated with all the items that are in the official closet, I won't even remember that there was someone else selling some additional pre-owned items or new items. So that's a little daunting. Like it's very interesting to me because I'm like, okay, now what? So if the product that you're selling has an official closet, even if you share, your items will likely not be seen. I don't know, unless you get lucky. I really don't know. So that kind of set me back a little bit. I was like, that's very interesting. So you don't give us the information we need in order to run the business, the analytics we need to see, who comes to the site and the traffic, all of that. But then you also are going to give precedence to the official brands, not to the smaller sellers. But then we have to remember the president said, my competition is Instagram. My competition is not eBay or Amazon. So I'm like, that really resonated with me because I'm thinking social networks. He wanted people to come on there and be social, and you empty out your closet and resell those items, but it was not made for resellers. So the biggest thing that I've been thinking about is for myself and for you guys, you have to be also honest with yourself, because while I was comparing my business and myself to other people and how they were using List Perfectly, which I'm sure that's a great resource to list on different platforms, I was like, oh, they were using List Perfectly to post on Kittison and Tradesy and Poshmark and Mercari and eBay. And I'm like, I should be doing that too. I'm like, you have to audit your own time, your own energy, and your own effort. Because maybe you have a husband and 3 kids and a full-time job. So you really have to look at what do I have the time, the energy, the effort to do? And what do I actually want to do and see my business go? So audit who you are. It's important to know who you are and what you want and what are your goals, regardless of what everyone else is doing, because that may not be right for you. So I always say that you are the superpower, and like no one can be you and do you better than you. So I'm asking you guys, please audit yourselves. And so I want to know in the comments, who out there are you on more than one platform? Are you on eBay, Kittison, Mercari, Poshmark? Are you on all of those? Or have you decided to focus on just one? Because like I said, when I decided to really focus on paying off my student loans, I paid off $100,000 in 11 months. So I'm like, what in the world could I do if I actually focused on just eBay? On just eBay. Oh, by the way, but I am not. So make sure you comment. What are your platforms that you're currently selling on? And what does it feel like to sell on that many platforms? Do you feel like you could be more focused and intentional if you're on one site, or are you scared to just, I guess, quote unquote, put all your eggs in one basket? Because what I would want to say is that what you can still do when you're trying to gain multiple streams of income, yes, you can just focus on one reselling platform, but maybe, just maybe, you decide, you know what? I know enough about reselling to have my own subscription. So you could do Patreon and have people meet you in the morning to talk about reselling and how to start, how to stay consistent, that kind of thing. Or maybe you develop a planner, or maybe you have a YouTube channel. So other streams of income that are outside reselling. So you can have one reselling platform, but still have multiple streams of income talking about reselling. So it's just a thought. So leave your comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to keep my Christmas tree up for a little longer, maybe till COVID's over, which who knows when that will be. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys again next time. Bye.